Hi guys, welcome back to the Funky Evolution Party. I'm Alice Green. I hope you've all had a good start to the Chinese New Year and also Valentine's Day, which I'm sorry that I missed. I didn't realize until kind of 7 p.m. on Sunday evening, but I'd like to give a massive shout out to Russell Brand to say thank you for leading. I am now going to follow up on online dating, porn, sex, and relationships, because obviously you can't have a party or a love evolution without sex, drugs, and rock and roll. So today I think I will go through my personal theory on sex, sexuality, and why we are in the current state that we're in, and that's the anger, the aggression, and all of these things that we face as a society that has been building up, and we have seen small explosions here, there, and everywhere, including what's, storming the Capitol isn't because of this right-wing, left-wing thing. It's a lot of internal oppression and aggression. And a lot of it, and the fundamental key to that, is because of sex and sexuality. Now, I'd like to dub this as masturbation, the new meditation, because if you look at the word masturbation, you could actually say master your vibration. And that's what it's about. It's about, without going into too much detail about, what happens when we have sex. There's lots of information out there. I've talked about the DNA exchanges, the spending of energy. We're just like spit of energy, and you're depleted, or you're too busy expecting somebody to tell you that you're beautiful or that you're wonderful or that you're sexy. And we spend so much money on sex products, on this, that, and the other, without actually looking at the fundamental key to a great sex life. And that starts with you harnessing and mastering your personal vibration. And, like I said, spirituality doesn't have to be boring. It can actually be quite fun. So, in this instance, there's no problem with being a wanker. It's actually highly advised, because if you look at ancient practices, and if we want to go back a few good centuries, let's go. I'm going to take you to India, where to begin with, you were not even allowed to be in a relationship or married unless they figured out your horoscopes, because according to the astrology, and if anyone believes in twin flames and all of that, the stars actually align, and that's how you're like, these two would work well together, or disaster. Keep clear of that one. We've lost a lot of those practices, so now it's like playing roulette with ourselves and playing roulette with others. And why? Because I need someone to tell me I'm this, or because I'm so lonely. Really? If you understood how much life surrounded you on a daily basis, and even if you live alone, the amount of microbes and bacteria and God knows whatever else, you are not alone. In this world, you are not alone. You might feel like you are. You might feel like you're trapped in a box. But the truth is, you've been put in that box because of the projections of everybody. You're this, you're that. This is what sex is about, and this is it. And it's all, shh, don't talk about it. Don't talk about this and don't talk about that. But why not? It's time we started to talk about sex and why we're so oppressed. It's like, we've done this for a while now, and it's not actually working out for us. Why? Because we're not allowed to explore our bodies. That someone else does that for you, and so we turn to porn. We close our doors, and it's okay for men, but it's not okay for women. And we still have these double standards when it comes to sex and sexuality. Now, that's the first barrier, is breaking down the gender bullshit. We all like sex, and without the male or the female, you and I would not exist. That is factual, right? So how are we going to bring this sexual revolution through harnessing our own sexual powers rather than being aggressive, oppressed, and then going out, and because we're so angry and so tense, we're taking it out on everybody else. This is like years back. I've had just random people and I'm like, that woman needs a dildo. Like, honestly, guys, we need to start harnessing our power within rather than just giving it out and then not having any power. And, you know, I don't need to tell you guys how to masturbate. I'm sure you're all very well aware of that. And if you need some help, there's some great TED Talks that I've been going through in order just to get a bit of information for you guys, because that's where we're oppressed. We are so busy expecting others to provide for us rather than provide for ourselves and then share that with others. And that's the other thing, is tantra and tantric practices that are done through breath work, that are done through releasing and healing. You might think, I don't need healing. Hey, there are things buried deep inside you that you don't know about, and there's tension, and you're like, oh, and you can release all of that tension through consciousness and awareness of your own body. And then when you're sharing your body with someone else, how that vibration, like I say, mastering your vibration and then sharing your vibration with someone else. So rather than it be, you know, why can't I find love? It's more about being happy with who you are, being comfortable in your own skin, and then sharing that with somebody else. I'm going to talk about, so I think I've kind of covered a bit about the porn side, and it's getting worse because that's all that we're being taught. But maybe, I don't know who's going to start this one. It's a bit of a ludicrous idea, but hey, why don't we hold mass masturbation sessions? Obviously, neck up, but then groups and all of that, you want to congregate, do it for a higher purpose and a higher vibration within the self. Onto online dating. Now, I've had my reservations about online dating for years. Many reasons. Okay, you can meet any random and don't know where you're going, but equally now with the pandemic, no pubs are open, nothing is open, there's nowhere to go to socialize, and people are going in and out of people's houses and they don't actually know where they're going and what they're doing, what they're going to catch. And it's not just that sort of virus. There are many STDs, and it's not just sexually transmitted diseases, spiritually transmitted diseases that you can get from exchanging of energy. We don't know. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not happening. And then we also need to be more aware of, you know, what happens then? Am I just left feeling a bit like, shit, why did I do that? Or is there a way that we can start to use online dating, maybe taking it back a little bit traditional in terms of, oh, I'm not going to sleep with you until I'm married, but let's get kinky online. And by picking a partner, you can start to practice a bit more of a tantric experience together, where you can like do the breathing and look into each other's eyes and self-explore with each other. And then when you actually come together, you've already built up that sexual energy within, rather than just. Now, I've had lots of long distance relationships, and I can safely say that the passion is still there, the need is still there, everything is still there, but you're not giving everything away. You know, sometimes more is less, and rather than for someone else to tell you how beautiful and wonderful and special and all that bullshit, you find that within who you are, and then you're able to share it. And that's the reason why most relationships fail. We're not taught any of this. Sex is just like, don't talk about it. Why not? It's something we all need, and like I say, you and I would not exist without it. So looking at why relationships are failing, and even when you get married and the sex goes, We don't have time for it. Well, guess what? You're in the middle of a pandemic where you guys are locked in. So maybe on your lunch break, go for a quickie. Pretend like you're on a rendezvous. That's the difference, is using your imagination to push through sexual exploration. And it doesn't mean, let's just sleep with everybody. It's about harnessing and mastering your inner power, sexual power. So when we go out into the world, we know what we're fighting for. We're not like, I'm so angry and so sexually repressed. Chill out. So I'm going to leave you guys with that. Again, looking at our sexual relationships, looking at how we're going to use our resources. United we stand, divided we fall. You master you, I master me. Together we create a society. Master your vibration through masturbation. Please like, share, get the message out there.